right, ladies, welcome to Bangs After Dark and All Things Woman Collaboration. Podcast live recording, y'all, and you have Bangs After Dark and All Things Woman. I am Tiffany Early, the founder and moderator for tonight of All Things Woman, and then we have
Tracy Foster,
Christian KB Gaines,
Peter Donaldson Wheeler,
and Sonia Mitchell.
Come on, give it up for the ladies. Let's give it up for the ladies, y'all. I'm so excited because I truly believe that this is an amazing collaboration. We both have podcasts and we decided to collaborate and come together to make forth a beautiful show on tonight. So ladies, we're gonna dive in. As you all know, the title of this conference is called Cultivation. What is cultivation? Cultivation is, gotta get to my notes, y'all, to promote the growth or development of something. Right? So when you're cultivating this thing that is inside of you, you need someone that can come alongside of you and push you. So our first topic tonight that we're going to talk about is having a pusher. Why is it important, ladies, that you have a pusher in your life? And before we get into that, what is a pusher? A pusher is someone that believes in you. Yes. Someone that will help you get to your next. So that is important. We all can agree that you need somebody that can come alongside you, come behind you, and say, you're not quitting today. No, you got to get there. No, you can do it. But why do we need that? Who would like to go first?
Huh?
I felt like you had that.
I'll go first.
Okay,
I'll go first. I think it's important to have a pusher because sometimes you don't know your worth, your potential. You don't see what you have to offer. So if you have something that you're doing something, and whatever kind of business it is, and you feeling a little waverly in it, not so sure that this is where God has placed you, but you have someone that come alongside and be like, come on, you can do it. Yeah. I see you in this. What is it? A Fortune 500 company.
Yes.
You know that you can be. You can be that.
Yeah.
But you may not see it, and I do. So I'll be beside you, or be behind you, pushing you, helping you along. Yeah. So that's what I think a pusher is.
I love it. Anyone else?
Yeah, for me, I got a lot of pushers. You're my pushers. You're my pushers over there too. I think that sometimes we have friends who don't understand the importance of being a pusher. I think you have women who everybody wants to be the leader, but they don't realize being the leader is the hardest job.
Yes. Right.
But to be a great leader and to have a great team, you have to have pushers and people that support you because everybody's role is important.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so the pushing is good for me because sometimes I'll be breaking down. Please.
It's okay.
So I have a great support system and I need it because I've learned to delegate now. Before I used to try to do everything myself and do everything.
Still struggles a little bit.
I'm glad somebody said
that. She struggles a little bit.
I do, but I can't help it. I'm a micromanager, but it's important for me because a lot of things wouldn't get done if I didn't have them and my sister and Mimi and whoever else because the pusher is the person who say, I got you, I'll do this for you. I got this, or I got this. I mean, even the whole opening the salon was like, wow, we was all in there painting. We had to get it open. I had 20 pushers. We had everybody coming. But so pushing is the better job, I think.
Yeah.
Because it helps the pusher grow and it helps the person leading grow as well. Because I think I've learned a lot from them. And as y'all can see, we all in different age brackets. You know, people used to be like, what do you have in common with KB? She's 38. A lot. I mean, you just have to have an open mind and realize you can learn from anybody. And a lot of people are stuck in their ways.
Because she said I was 38, I just went to
Clarify that. Come on down. She's 38.
I said 38. You did. I thought I said 30.
She's 35.
She want me to be 40 so bad. They swear I'm 45.
No. I thought I said 30s, but it's okay, girl. You did good. But so I started off, this is so crazy. I started off doing KB's hair when she was like 15.
Yeah, this is true.
And I don't even know how this happened, but God has a way of bringing people in your life that you don't think is supposed to be in your life. And I've had friends that I have let go that I've been friends with for 30 years. and they didn't feed me nothing. I realized I ain't missing nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, honestly, so we have to have an open mind and realize that the pushers is what makes the leaders great.
Right.
And I think sometimes you have friends around you who don't like the pushing job, but that's because they don't believe in you or they mad about what you're doing.
Yeah.
So just keep your eyes open and understand that if you got a friend that you've been close to forever and she ain't pushing you, she ain't really your friend.
Come on, say that again. She ain't pushing you, she ain't
That
really
was
your
good.
friend. Anybody else? Or that's all before I go on to my next?
That was good. She said it.
She said a lot.
I agree. And I know some of you are wondering like, okay, so how do I position myself? How do I position myself to receive a pusher or to get a pusher? What is something that you can give to these ladies that they may place themselves in position, or how to receive? Because I truly believe that's probably the biggest issue with us as women, receiving the pusher, because that means you have to be vulnerable.
Yep.
That means that you have to be open to this
Yep.
person and all that comes with them.
That's
That means
good.
you have to not judge them. That means you know, they're going to see all parts of you. So what are some ways that a person can place themselves in position to receive a pusher in their lives?
I think that it comes organically. Like, you know how you around people and they want to be your friend so bad, but they don't realize it has to come naturally. Like, who had ever thought that Sonya would be, I mean, she came in my life a long time ago. She was friends with my brother in college, and then she ended up working at the salon, and here we are 15 years later, and she's my pusher. And it's crazy because you don't know who your support system is. It's like I read a lot that your support is never going to come really from your friends and family. They're going to come from outside.
Right. Yeah.
So you just have to have an open mind enough to know that it could come from anybody. I'm 51. You 30. What's your
8.
And so
Let's just tell the truth now.
it's funny
Mom.
because we get that question all the time, like, what do y'all talk about? But we all have we feed into each other.
We have a good time.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something that you said that I feel like goes good with what you said. With how do you get yourself in position for being a pusher, or to receive, knowing that you're a pusher. And I'm gonna also say to receive your pusher as the leader is self-work.
Yeah.
I think that it has a lot to do with the self-work that you do internally, right? If I'm pushing you, that does not make me less than you.
Exactly.
It has everything to do with that you just said that we're growing together.
Right.
If God gave me the position to be the leader, it's a heavy head to wear the crown, or however that goes. It take a lot to do this. And so the pusher's role that calls, that says, don't give up. You got this. You can do this.
Yes.
No, you can do this. It's such a vital role because honestly, you're helping for God's purpose to be pushed out into the earth. And I think that when you realize that you're valuable, you're valuable, then you're able to be that pusher for the season. Because just like the teacher needs the student needs the teacher, and the roles keep switching and it keeps changing if you allow it to. Nobody should ever feel like they've fully arrived. It's supposed to be, in this season I may be leading, but in the next season you may be leading. And I have so much that I can learn from my pusher when you have the right relationship.
Right.
You know, nobody's less than.
And it's crazy because we talked about this before, like being the leader in one situation and then I go to movie sets or do whatever I'm doing and I have to be the pusher. I have to I'm used to being the leader and then I have to come down and be the pusher. Go get the food, go grab the hair, go do whatever. And I'm okay with that because it's part of learning and growing. And I think if people realize that you can learn from the chief, then you become a chief. Because I think it's hard for people to think they can be a leader, but you can't follow. How can you lead somebody if you've never been able to follow somebody? So it kind of goes one on, you know what I'm saying?
It's synonymous.
Yeah.
They go together.
Yep.
I love it. And as I was sitting here thinking about it, and this is something I had said at the last one that we did a show together. When you are in the position of being a pusher or being pushed, guard your heart like never before. Something that you said about being self-aware and doing that self-work. You have to guard and protect your heart because it's easy to get tired of pushing, right? Or just get tired of pushing, and the enemy can creep in your mind and in your heart to be like, I mean, so who got you? You always pushing everybody else. Who pushing you? And then you begin to let bitterness sit in your heart, and then you miss out
Yes.
on the elevation that God wants to give to you, because you allowed the bitterness to come in and settle and make a home in your heart and your mind.
Yep.
So then you guard and say, oh, I'll never do that again. Oh, I never. Or you put up these walls that's unnecessary. And so you have to guard your heart. Saying all that, guard your heart. Guard your heart, guard your mind, and guard your conversations, because people love to, I mean, what she do for you? Because I see you doing a lot for her.
No, that's real.
No, that's real. Let's talk about the person that always come chirping, carrying the bone.
Yeah.
They always come to get you out of position.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
But
Yes.
the reality of it is, great leaders is gonna share whatever they have. Like,
That's
I share
right.
everything. If you ask
Yes.
me, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm not intimidated by the fact that what I'm sharing may help you elevate, because I understand very clearly that what God has for me is for me. So it doesn't bother me to share. And they know I give them everything. I be like, oh girl, you know, financially, whatever it is, I'm gonna give it, because I can't hold it in.
Yeah,
That's right.
How are we better as black women, or even as a team, if I'm not, I don't want them to be beneath me. I
Right.
want to be around winners. The energy will be different.
Yes.
So you just gotta
And
do
then
it.
the energy is different.
Yeah.
If we're all winning.
Yeah.
And when
You
it's, when
happier.
it's something that's low, they
Oh,
be
the
off.
energy
It's low.
And it don't be,
And that's
It's
why
it don't be good.
choose your circle wisely.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we all play a role. Everybody has a position. Everybody can't be at the top. So, you just got to make sure that you choose your circle wisely. And know that everybody has a place. And today might be yours and tomorrow might be mine.
That's right.
Hey, hey, Sonya.
Come on, Sonya. She be having those sound bites every now and again. Today might be yours and tomorrow might be mine.
Sonya don't say much, y'all, but
What
when she
she
do,
do?
it be some gems.
I feel like it's a sound bite, girl.
Hey, Sonya.
I mean, in totality, if you think about it, we're all pushers. We pushing our husbands, our kids, our mothers, our fathers, our friends. So you're a pusher in some instance in your life, in some aspect of your life. But it's a hard job, and being a leader is harder than people think. I mean, I might make it look easy, but I have a lot of times where I'm like,
I say that to you all the time.
Yeah.
That she make it look easy, so people think that they can do it, but you didn't follow. You know, so if you didn't
It'll be a hard
follow and then
road.
think that you could do that job,
Yeah.
it won't come out the same.
It ain't
so,
gonna be the same.
you know, learn to follow.
Yeah.
If somebody is doing something great and prospering, you be like, who want to be around broke people?
Come on.
I don't know. I'm so glad you said that.
Nobody wants to be around broke people. So, you know, they say, millionaire people say,
they
you
say?
find a billionaire to be around.
That's
because
right.
you're going to aspire to be like them. So they'll give you all the things that they have to show you how to get to that next level. So who want to stay low? We don't want to stay low. We want to come up.
Yes.
We want it, and sidebar, everybody is not meant to go. So they'll drop off
Everybody is
because you
not
know
meant to
who is
go.
meant to be there. They'll fall off and they won't be there. And you say, see, God has a plan. He got a plan for me.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I love you, but this may not be your step.
Right.
This may not be your door
The
that you
road
gotta,
is right
that we open up and we all go in.
Yeah.
Everybody is not going in.
And so real quick with that, I think I specifically want KB to answer this.
your
How do you deal with, and I say that because I've watched my friend go, right? And I've watched people fall. How do you deal with the falling away of the people? Keeping yourself emotionally in a good space and making peace with that they had to fall off. What would you give to us concerning that?
Well, I saw a quote a long time ago that said, you have to learn to wear people loosely. And that always stuck with me, wearing people loosely, because when people have to go, I finally realized that you do have a destination. Everybody's really not going to where you're going.
Yeah.
And so to be upset with a person, right? Whether if I felt like I was justified or not would only cap what God could do in my life.
Right. Yeah.
So now I'm not affecting them, I'm affecting myself.
Right.
And I also realized that for every person that was leaving, God was sending somebody.
That's right.
And so, not to be funny, but I like what she said, don't nobody want to be around broke people. And I've done enough work where I'm not intimidated by having older friends. That's why she think I'm 38, y'all. Because
But it ain't like
I could have sworn that Tracy told me I was 42 2 weeks ago. And so everybody forgets.
it's not a financial broke either.
No, I'm not talking about broke financially.
I wasn't just talking about that.
Not finances. I'm
Yeah.
talking about just in spirit.
Right.
You know, people who carry a certain spirit and nothing's ever going good for them and they have nothing to ever give you, but they're always pulling from you. And so I learned that it's not about having friends that necessarily had to be what I thought they would look like, right? Because I feel like we choose friends off of what we see and not what God sees.
Right.
And so that's how I've been able to do it, keep a clear heart, because for those that were leaving, God sent in, and then I keep elevating because they have the ability to tell me, no, you can't do it. Some people have never seen it done before, so they can't be your pusher.
Right.
And I'm younger, but I have older women that pour into me. You know, people that truly stop me and say, your spirit is why I want to come. I mean, I'm sure those who do know me that came in here, you came because my spirit, you know, it's like, no, this person is different. And I think that when we allow for ourselves to let go and literally let God, we attract his favor in whatever he's getting ready to send our way.
That's right. Yep.
Thank you, boo. I knew you was gonna do good.
Can I
Go ahead, Edith. I know. Come on.
Let me
I want to
piggyback
hear
off
you.
that because I lost 2 friends in the last, how many years? 3? I mean, we were friends forever.
Yeah.
And when I say forever, it was like a death kind of.
Yeah.
Because
It's hard.
when you let somebody go, you like, oh, it's like almost your first breakup. Remember your first heartbreak? But then when they're gone, you realize you haven't missed anything. What did they add to my life? What was the value?
Yes.
Don't say nothing. I see y'all looking. They told me to let them go years ago. I didn't
you
listen.
were given the whole time, and they were takers.
They were takers. But it took me removing myself from the situation. It was no like fallout. I just was like, I'm going to stop calling just to see, you know. And God, I'm serious.
No,
and what happened?
Yeah.
A month later, my life took off, didn't it?
Yeah.
It did.
Hi, yes. Can you come to the? Oh, yeah. I'm on my way. But sometimes you have to listen to God. Like stand still for a second and listen to what He's telling you because we ignore it. Because I had 1,000 signs that I should have let them go, but I just didn't because I loved them. What you say, Tracy? The lunchroom friend?
Yeah, lunchroom. I told it. So, in our last podcast, if you guys watched, and we talked about friendships evolve.
Yes.
So when you're a child, you need somebody to sit next to you on the school bus. You need somebody to sit at the lunch table with you to be a part of. But when you become an adult, you don't need that friend to sit at the lunch table with you no more.
Say that again.
So it's like,
wow.
let their hand go because everybody got a position and a time. That time is over. So I was best friends with you in the 5th grade. I'm 55. We're no longer best friends. And I'm not saying that it couldn't be that we would still be best friends. But if I have not talked to you in 20 years, you are my childhood best friend.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's it. I love you, but
there is
our
a
life
difference.
is different.
Oh, yeah.
And
There's a
I
difference.
don't want to hear your issues today, your problems today. I don't want to be a garbage can, you know, a receptor. I don't want it. So, be like, I'm done. I just have to get myself together. But thinking about that, because we talk about that a lot of the old friends and the new friends.
Yes.
We are all different.
Yeah.
When I first met KB and she walked in the salon, I said, there's something different about her. And I went to her, we in the back eating, and I said, listen, you're saved. Do not get caught up with all this craziness that go on in here.
She did.
Because it's a light above you. I didn't know her. And so from that day, it was like we were instantly connected. Not only we both love makeup, we in the beauty industry, but we both love Christ too. So it was like, who is that girl?
Yeah.
I want to know that girl. And she gives that off. So that's how a lot of you are here. Because you may have seen her Sis Bloom online. You may have been in her church when she's running around. And you know, you may even been in the salon when she comes in and she's like, hey everybody! You know, like wakes the whole room up. that it brings joy.
Yeah.
And it attracts people to her. But that's the light that God has given her. So it's like we fit well together. We're all different, like extremely different.
Extremely.
I mean, how different? Totally different. But we do well together because we allow each other to be who they are.
Yep.
And so that's what you got. That's your strength. You stay there. I'm gonna be here. What you need? I'm gonna help you along. You need me to get this? I'm here.
And
vice versa. And we have no issues with it. We all good with it.
The question, the most important thing is not just your friends, but your partner, your kids, whoever.
Yeah.
I think that if you can't be in genuine relationships with people and they don't accept you for who you are, and you kind of got to dumb down yourself to make people feel comfortable, they're not for you.
That's right.
And I think, like, going back to the relationship thing, letting them go and realizing that even KB's energy or my happiness or whatever, sometimes that has a different effect.
Right.
It bothers people.
Right.
Because people that's not happy cannot take good energy.
Yeah.
It irritates them. Y'all know how many people we irritate. We ran about 9 people up out the shop. But I mean, we can.
I know. For real.
Oh, you did, Sonya.
I didn't.
Sonya was the main problem. And then, no, not in a bad way, but Sonya is nice and friendly and good morning. Hey, and some people will come to work, you know, and she'd be like, good morning. They like, So some people can't handle good energy because they're not in a good place. So that's when we talk about like doing the self-work and being okay with the bubbly people. Because sometimes they be like, good morning. I'll be like.
Yeah, and I'll be like.
But it's good because you don't have a good day every day, but understanding that being joyful too can rock a few bad spirits. So it's like you got to pay attention and watch the signs of the people. I don't like to use the word hater, but they be mad. They mad that you're happy because peace sometimes bothers people that are not peaceful.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
I love it. And before we navigate into another space, one last question that I want to ask within the whole pusher context is, how do you distinguish between a pusher and a friend? Because although, yes, a pusher can be your friend, but they're sure in that position of pushing. Not every friend can be a pusher.
That's right.
So how would you distinguish that? Because what happens is sometimes we like to give people positions that they ain't supposed to be.
Right.
And then you're frustrated. You're frustrated with that person because it's like, I mean, did you not know your job? Did you not know what you were supposed to be doing? And no, because that's not what they were supposed to do.
Right.
So how do you distinguish between a friend and a pusher?
I think you have to meet people where they are. And I think that you can't make somebody be something that they're not. So your expectation of an individual, you know, you have to know sometimes they may be too high and they're not going to, you know, exceed to where you want them to be. So you have to be mindful of who you're putting in these different positions and what you're asking from them.
Yeah.
And sometimes they just can't, they can't produce.
Yeah.
They don't have, it's not in them to be able to produce.
Yeah.
So you just have to be mindful of what your expectations of an individual, you know, is, and make sure that, you know, that person may not be able to do the job, but you know somebody else you can call on.
Right.
In short, I'm gonna bring y'all to church real quick, as I do on the podcast. You need to check the fruit.
Check the fruit.
Galatians 5:22 for those that don't know the word of God. You just go to Galatians 5:22 if you're wondering. I'll put my pastor hat on, Pastor KB. What is the fruit? You go read that. Now, you got to judge a man by his fruit, because people love to say, you can't judge me, I can't judge you, but your fruit I can. And a lot of times you just put people in a position that don't got good fruit, you know, and so even your friends, you got friends that they just don't have good fruit, and I just can't ask you to be what you can't, you don't have the capacity to be. You don't have that. You can't call me to push me because it ain't in you yet. You know your selfish friends, you know your friends that's just not in that place, and you gotta have some friends that you love from a distance. Hey, all the way down there. How y'all doing? You good? I love you still. I love you. I'm all the way down there. I'm just saying. All right.
Thank you. That is so true.
Quick Bible study.
Right.
Quick Bible study.
You're gonna always get the word at some point from Pastor Katie.
That's right.
I love it.
It hits me.
But yeah, check the fruit because it matters. It matters. What is that like producing? If it's not producing anything good, what do you think it is going to do to your life? All you're going to do is start producing rock fruit right along with them.
It's the energy.
No,
No,
Yeah.
You started them riding too, so why? Check that fruit before you let them lean on you,
But
okay?
that's what I was
That was
talking about,
good.
being the receptor.
Yes.
You know, being a garbage can. Because when they bad in a bad place, they're dumping on you. You're receiving it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't want to hear it.
don't
Like,
wanna
you
hear
don't have
it.
nothing positive to say, nothing good to say. Keep it to yourself, because I don't want to be the receptor. I don't want to be the garbage can that is all there, and then I'm carrying your junk. I don't want to carry your junk.
Yeah.
I'm working on my own, because we all got junk.
Yeah, we all got it.
And I'm not trying to give you mine, so don't give me yours.
Yeah.
When you know this person is toxic, or, you know, like,
I'm just saying.
yeah,
I'm
down
sorry.
there. Yeah.
Hey,
You don't
it's
want to
okay
hear
to
it.
say no. You don't have to answer the phone. Doesn't mean you don't love your friends.
Yeah.
I went through
Yeah.
a season. I just said, hey, I'm in a new place in my life, and I'm really focused. And I think that if that's truly your friend, they're gonna understand it.
Yep.
They're gonna know your heart. You
Yep.
don't have to be mean. You're not doing any of that. When you realize, and I'm gonna let you go to the next. When you realize that like there's more for you.
Yeah.
Like, let me just say this. It's okay to realize that there is more for you.
Yep.
Like, I just really want that to like hit y'all spirit. It's okay for it to be more for you. It does not make you less than a friend. It does not, like, it's not personal.
Yep, it's
you
not
know, like, God gives us friendship because he loves relationship, right? He gave you marriage because he loves relationship. But he also made you his daughter, which means that he has a purpose for your life.
Yes.
And so when you lock in and you realize, like, hey, I'm actually uncomfortable where I've been. It's okay to just let your friends know, let your whichever's going on. If you're married, you can have a conversation with your husband. Tell him how you're feeling. And just, you know, lock in with God and set the boundary.
Right.
To say, hey, I'm ready to grow. It's okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that right
And
there
I
because
have to make
it's
some,
important.
make some changes.
And that's when they started falling off.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I promise you, I
Y'all
was like,
have to see
this
her
year's
face.
gonna be
Did y'all
about
look
me.
at her face when
This
she
year
said
got to
that?
be about me. Remember I told them that? I said, I'm just gonna stop because I do so much for so many people. And I said, you know what? This year, I'm not, remember? You remember this, right? Mm-hmm. It's gonna be about me. I've been a mother, a wife. I do everything for everybody, but what about me?
Yeah.
So I want to do some stuff for me. So I opened a furniture store. I started traveling more. I started living for me because at the end, and I lost a lot of people during COVID. So I realized that life, you only get one.
Right.
So what I do
You got
with it
them
is
all.
gonna be up to me, and it can't be everything about Dre or everything about the kids or everything. But what about me? What's gonna
Yep.
make me happy? And there was a few people I said, I can't be there like I used to be there for you. And when I say literally they fell off, they fell off. And that's okay, but I'm still gonna take care of me. So ever since then, I've been so much happier. I've always kind of done what I wanted to do, but I really do it now because I realize I may not wake up tomorrow. So I gotta enjoy every day that God gives me.
Yep,
So
that's right.
This thing goes to that for sure. Because I told my husband this is a new year too, praise God. For both of us, like for both of us. Even the thought of, because this relationship, the conversation is around friendship and relationship. And I think that that's so important to take some time at some point in life to put you first and that I'm not losing the us. We still married.
Yeah.
We still gonna do life together, but you're gonna chase your dream. You're gonna do something that you've been wanting to do for forever, but because of life, kids, and work and all of the above that got in the way. And it's, I mean, we get better at it, you know, because we've been doing life in church and the people for so long that defining that thing is not easy.
Yeah.
It is not easy to define it when you've lived your life, giving it all over to other people. You gotta go, wait a minute, who am I? And this is kind of shifting into where I want to go. Who am I? What do I like? What do I really want to do? And as women, we tend to get lost in all of the hats that we have to wear.
That's right.
Whether it's being a daughter, whether it's being a wife, being a friend, all of these things, and all of that has brought about some insecurities. It has brought about some lack of trust. It has brought about some doubts, some fears, some of everything. And so, ladies, I want us to talk about how do we face those insecurities, the doubts, and the fears that make us not really want to go chase the cultivation or chase the thing that is deep down inside of us that God has placed there since birth. How do we face that? How do we deal with it? Because insecurities are real.
No, it's real.
And we truly believe them in our brain. Like we feed it to ourselves and we live from it. and talk ourselves out of that we can do it, or that we have enough inside of us to do it. So how do we attend to those things?
Well, I'm gonna say that, so last year, I lived in Texas, and that was interesting because I'm married and I have children. You know, it took a village, like my whole village just came up, my mama, my grandmama, my everybody, you know, and they allowed me time to, as my husband calls it, a self-exploratory. Look at me, I'm getting it wrong. A self-exploratory time. That's what he calls it. You know, he all smart. But you know, go ahead, honey. With that being said, and I think I realized something, that as women, we don't get the chance to, once you get married, you have kids, you never take time to figure out what you like, right? You go through life and you're doing that thing, but you forget to check in on what do I like. Right. I was scared and I wasn't gonna do it. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Whoo, this is just too much. They're not gonna make it without me. Like, this is my mom. This is me being full transparent. I was like, I just don't know, God. I got this going on. We got a church. We got so many things going on. And there was a few things. One, fear. Two, trusting that God had it all together, and the people that God has for your village, right? When he gives you one that's solid, let me just say that, one that's solid. But trusting that and understanding that it's not all, you don't have to keep your hand on everything. And that takes a lot, though, to actually take your hand off of what you feel like won't work if you don't do it. Right. And so in that time, me actually checking the insecurities, if I was able to do it, did I have it in me? You know, can I trust this dream that I really have had my entire life, and here it is. So a lot of times you think like when it comes that you're going to be like, oh, I'm so ready to go, but really, are you going to be ready? Right. You know, a blessing is a big blessing, but a blessing takes a lot to walk in. Right. You know, and so it crushes you, you know, like to be blessed. You gotta really trust God, like, oh, okay, you know. And so I said all that to say that going through it, being able to really have the true people around you that can tell you, you can do this. Mm-hmm. People who will encourage you to say, it's going to be okay. It's all right. It's okay for you to find out who you are. It's okay for you to walk in this newness. But you got to be able to check your insecurities. That's what I'm saying. You have to be self-aware enough to check the insecurities, check what's around you, and really just stop trying to be in control of everything. Yeah. Because control keeps you from really doing it. And just do it. From really trusting
the process.
That is the process, that it's going to come. That it's going to come to pass. I think I wanted to answer that because I went through, that was a huge year for me last year to do that. But them kids was living.
They were.
Yeah.
They were. They better.
I'm just saying.
They weren't thinking about you.
Them kids was talking about Daddy cook better than me. He can't cook. But I'm just saying. They was eating tasteless burgers. They were so happy. You know, my husband was sending me Bob Evans warm-ups. And guess what I did? I almost said, now they shouldn't eat that. But you know what I said? You're doing a great job. Check yourself. Come on. Folks is helping you. I said, them kids, that look good. They don't like that. They called me like, Mommy, we're having a time. So my point is, hey, they did good in school. Their grades went up. I'm just saying, like, so all I'm saying is, I don't know if it was me or them or what, but my point is that, hey, it's going to be all right. Stop trying to be in control.
Yeah. So I have something to say in that aspect. Fear kept me from doing a lot of things. And I realized that it was generational. That my mom suffered with fear. My mom's mom suffered with fear. My grandmother, I don't want to get on a plane. My mother, I don't want to get on a plane. And I said, I'm not living my life restricted. My mom died, okay? And she died, and I thought about the fear that she had when she died, that I'm not going to live that way. So I made it up in my mind that all the things that I'm afraid of, I'm going to walk and do it in fear. So, saying that to say, I almost did not do the podcast. They don't know that.
I was just about to say,
Thank you.
We had taped. No. So we're talking here. We're talking about something that
We started off with 6. Just know that.
I'm sorry?
We started with 6.
Yes. But I almost didn't do the podcast because fear, 1. 2, I didn't really think that I had anything to say that would be helpful to someone. And I told my husband that dealing with my own insecurities, I don't think that I want to do this.
Yeah.
And he said, you have something to say. You have something to give. And you need to do it. And don't let the fear keep you from doing it. So I was like, I don't know. So the second taping
Listen, my
is
last
what changed. What changed for us. Because when he said that, I had to start believing it for myself.
That's right.
That I have something to say. That I do have something to give that can help someone. Think about, I am a hairstylist for 37 years. I do counseling on the side. But I don't look at it that way or thinking, you know, this is one-on-one, and it's different when you're talking to mass people. So I didn't feel like I had nothing to give, you know, and he was like, you have plenty to give, and I think this would be great for you to come out of behind that is holding you back. So when I say that walking in fear, that was generational. The generational curse has stopped here. Because I no longer want to live my life in fear. I want to do it what God has set me here to do. And I'm going to do it even if I'm scared. I didn't know I was going to cry.
That's okay. That's all right. That's all right.
Tracy, I did not know that.
I know that y'all didn't know because I was fighting through it. I mean, dealing with my own stuff. And so we all have our own stuff that we're dealing with ourselves. And so being able to come before people or even to come before you guys and be somewhat transparent to things that could help you that we're dealing with, or you know, that I'm dealing with. It's hard to be transparent before people when you're scared or you feel like you have nothing to give. So, I mean, I just said, I don't think that I can do it. He said, you are going to do it. When you talked about the pusher, you are going to do it when I'm not the same person that I used to be. I was a quiet person, believe it or not, like an introvert. I can talk in my own space. I'm comfortable in the salon, but you get me outside of that, around people that I'm not familiar with, I don't say that much. But once my mother died, it changed my entire life of being scared to be me. And I didn't want to be a closed up cage. I want to be what God placed me to be. So I'm going to do it. And be scared. And still do it.
Well, that's, first of all, let me get myself together.
I gotta get myself together.
I need these lashes.
I do too.
I gotta have a order if they come on.
It's so good. I mean, that's what
I
did
want
it
to say
scary
that I'm fearful even walking here in. It's funny because people always ask me, you didn't look scared, because me and my daughter went to Africa and I was walking with the lions and people only saw the video. So it was a good way to explain to them, you saw the video of me walking with the lion, but you didn't see what? You didn't see what happened before then. I was scared to death. But I had two options, not do it or have the life experience. And I think that's what a lot of things, like when I get these phone calls, they know how crazy Tiana is, but when she calls, she'd be like, you want to work? You want to make some money? You want to go to Paris? You want to go to Italy? And I'm holding the phone, scared to death, but I'm okay. And thank
Move
God.
everything around. We make it hurt. The team, bang team, make it work. So you going where? Because if she elevate, we elevate. It changed our whole environment. She gonna go get it because it takes us all So we take care of all the what you need, because we're going to move them all. We're going to take care of whoever needs to be taken care of. You go do her hair. So, because Bangs, when they say Edith on it, she represents all of us.
Right.
And the crazy part is, I mean, I'll call Mimi or Tafine and be like, oh my God, I'm sitting next to Offset. I have to act like I'm normal, but I'm really a groupie, okay? Because I love these people. I'm like, oh my God, so Future, here I got to do Oscars. I've been blessed to be able to do so many things, but I do it with fear just like her. I'm not human. Like, people just think, oh, you did it. No, you don't see the crying. You don't see what I go through. I almost lost my son last year. He was on life support for 2 days. It's a lot that we go through behind closed doors. People see the glitz and the glam, but they don't see the hard work, when I do fail, or when things don't go my way, or something doesn't happen that I want to happen. So you see the fake facade I put on in the front, but there's a lot to do when you're the leader. So people think it's easy, but being a leader and having people count on you is really hard. Like, I was having a whole meltdown, remember? Yes. I was like, listen, the shop ain't gonna open if y'all don't help me, because I can't do it this time around. We gotta work together, and thank God I had people that were supportive enough to come help me. But
after work, y'all, wait a minute. We have to say this. This is a sidebar. We worked 12 hours and then went to the new salon and painted and did whatever needs to take place there. And there till 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and go home and get up and start all over again, because we all had one common purpose. Bangs 3.0 needed to open by April 1st or April 2nd, whatever day it was, and it was going to take all hands to make it happen.
Yeah, that's right. It was tough, but I just want to say that fear will always be there. But I talk to myself every day, girl, you got it, you can do it. I claim stuff before I even get it, okay? And that's probably why I do get it, because I already can see. If you're not able to see yourself past where you are, the likeliness of you getting past where you are is going to be very slim. You have to believe in yourself first, because if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? Right. When I tell you I could not cut hair at all when I first started, I used to fake it. I done messed up so many heads. Girl, you look so good. Girl, come back and see me. Every patch is missing, but I never gave up. I'm serious. I never gave up.
That's a learning.
But I'm saying I did it with fear, but I kept going. I'm not a quitter anyway, but I think that people see the beauty in things, they don't see the pain in things. So it looked good, but marriage is hard. I've been through a lot of things in my marriage. Being a mother is hard. That's probably the hardest job I ever had. Yes. And then being a friend is hard. And being a salon owner is hard. Everything is hard, but I still did it. And I still got 20 more goals. Y'all know I'm a Jamaican. I got 100 jobs. But I just keep going because I'm never satisfied. But to piggyback off what Tracy said, my mom is the same way. And I think it's a generational thing in their age group. But I wish I would. I wish I could. I wish I should. And now, mind you, my father been everywhere. Asia, Indonesia. He traveled everywhere. He always wanted to take my mother. She never wanted to go. But now that she's older, she lived with all these regrets. But when I check up out of here, my list gonna be so long. I'm living my life, because you don't have a choice. It's either you got two choices: be miserable or be happy. Pick one. And I choose the happy, even when I'm scared.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah. Come on, let's give it up for that. Before we shift on, because my last question that I'm going to ask, after that, we're going to go into the Q&A, okay? So think of your questions, get your mind together, what you want to come up and say. But before we move on, I just want to say to the host, ma'am, thank you for pushing, because your push has brought all of us into a space that we all had to push past that fear. So thank you. And I told you this earlier. I said, listen here, girl. Tonight you're going to see the fruit. Hey! The fruit is in the room of your push. And everyone that stood behind you to push you into this moment. So thank you. And I want to encourage every woman in here that struggles with insecurity. I went through a heavy time of counseling maybe about 2 years ago. And one thing that my counselor always would challenge me with things that I just was like, yeah, but I can't and I can't. And she was like, Tiffany, where are the facts in these things that you believe? You say that this is this and you can't do this and this reason. Show me the facts. And I never truly had real facts of why I couldn't. And it really changed my life, because I began to see all the lies that I was really believing because I had no facts. Mm-hmm. So check the facts. If ain't no facts there, then chalk it up. You a lie. I'm moving past this. Right. Because it's not gonna trap me. It had trapped me at that time. I'm 38 now. I'm really the 38 person, the person that's 38 on the group. But 35 years of just believing those lies and couldn't move forward because not me, and I'm just a wife, and I'm just a mom, and I can't start this or do that or go out and speak. And the moment that I began to deal with every lie that the enemy was feeding me, I ended up going away to a conference, came back, God said, start a podcast. My speaking calendar began to get so full, but that started with me making a choice not to believe the lies.
Yes.
God, He has so much that He's waiting to give to you and allow you to operate in. You gotta do your part. So check the facts. Where are they? If there are none there, be like, okay, you a lie, and move right along.
Yes.
Okay?
Don't talk yourself out of it.
So let's move on. My last question that I want to give to the group is, in a world where a lot of people are focusing on themselves and they're self-aware and they're doing all of this work, or they doing them, how can we become better in how can we improve our communication and our relationships, in our friendships, in our marriage, in all the aspects of our lives? Because communication is the foundation of how a thing will thrive, right? And a lot of people struggle with communicating either what they need, what they don't need, the things that they don't know. So how can we improve our communication in our relationships, our business plans? Because that's important. We're cultivating. Somebody got a business in here and you need help, but you don't know how to say that you need help. How can we improve that?
I was just gonna say that just being honest with yourself,
Transparent.
being transparent in where you are, and knowing that, you know, anything is possible. So all you have to have is a thought, an idea, and just know that you can do anything. You can do anything that you put your mind to. Sometimes it just starts with a small thought, and sometimes you just gotta push yourself. Sometimes you don't have anyone around you to push you, and you have to be the person that believes in yourself.
I'm gonna say that it's gonna sound a little wonky, but go with me on this.
You wonky. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's only failure if you give up.
Yep.
So when something goes wrong and you feel like you failed, you have to look at the business, look at the relationship, romantically, friendship, whatever it is, and you have to look, you feel like it's failed, but you also have to evaluate your position in it. And that's the part that we don't get to.
That's the hard part.
So if we only look at the part that another person plays, then we have no self-reflection there. And so, or if you only look at the business didn't work this way, but you don't look at what you put into it or did not put into it, or what you did, the research that you didn't do, or whatever it is, if you never look at yourself and the part that you played in what you call a failure, then that's how you don't learn how to get past to express what you need.
Yeah.
You only know what you need by making a mistake or going through something. You're gonna make mistakes in this life. Everything's not gonna work the first time. Many people that you see that are prosperous in life, it did not work the first time. The bottom line is that it did not work the first time. You gotta learn how to pivot. You gotta learn how to really look at it. You gotta learn how to really open up and be like, okay, I'm weak in this area.
And go get the help for that area.
That's hard for a lot of people. To really admit that you're weak. We can have strengths all day, but the weaknesses is what we really need to look at, because that's what you have to cultivate.
Right.
Your strengths, some of us are, you have different things that which is given to you from birth. God gave it to you, so it's not nothing that bothers you, but you have weaknesses. Like if time management is an issue, it's an issue. If you have a character flaw or you're not just that nice, hey, business is customer service, so you gotta work on your inner man, because your character, because nobody wants to support a business and you got a nasty attitude, you know, like it's just what it is. You could be talented all day, the food could taste amazing, but if I come into your restaurant and you was like, hello, take that back, y'all. What you get? I take that back though, because I can't go name no names, but it's certain food, I'm just gonna eat it. But listen,
attitude and all.
I know I like to joke. I thought about something like, well, wait a minute, Lord, let me not lie up here, because if it's real good, I just pray, like, Lord, help Benita. She's not having a good time. You said have compassion for the people, God, help them. But I'm gonna eat that food because it's delicious. I ain't gonna tell no lie. But I'm just saying, like, in totality, these things are important. Yeah. So the failures, if my marriage is not working, okay, it ain't just John. I need to go ahead and see myself too. I'm playing a part in this thing. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. My kids acting crazy. Okay, now in my parenting skills, I need to come back to figure out, okay, how do I listen to them? Because you go through, I know my babies is little, but I see people. Kids go through stages in life. Yeah. And so we have to have capacity to hear them, right? Because they have thoughts and things of that nature. And so my point is that in all relationships, right? Yeah. In communication, the breakdown is that sometimes you feel like I'm standing on what I'm standing on and I'm not going to look at me. So now there's a breakdown because nothing's going to get fixed if both parties stand on what they stand on and nobody looks at themselves.
Yeah.